See you 3 and 3. I try to be a little extra. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. This is Coffee with Ori. Here we go. I am just little old Dr. D. So let's begin. Let's say hello to our host. Hola, 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 hola.
Hello,
¿Cómo
everyone,
está?
and welcome to the show. Dr. D and I are going to be discussing a two-part program um, that
I'm sorry.
is to help us determine whether it is the universe. Is it that the universe
How
versus
how do you know the universe
yeah,
communicating with you or God?
yeah,
Whoever.
whether it's the universe communicating with you or is it God communicating with you, and how can you tell the difference? Um, well, I'm going to start off with this. I know that for for me as for me personally, I'm not going to talk for anybody else. For me personally, I know that when I believe that it's a God voice, it is a voice that it constantly is telling me something, and it's constantly repeating over and over and over and over and over. You know, um, constantly, and it's a voice in my head that doesn't stop. But when it's the universe, I feel that the universe it's like the God voice that comes in your system, like that they say, which is your intuition. I feel like that is the universe letting me know, because it's like I feel it in my stomach, and then it's a feeling that rises up from that. So at least that is the way that it is for me. I know that some people say that you know um, that the God voice is it's in their belly, but I don't know. I really don't. I really know that I can't really talk for anyone else. I can only say what my experiences are. I can tell the difference when the spirit is talking to me. I can tell the difference when the deities are speaking to me. I can tell the difference between, when I when I know that it's the God voice, because it's a consistent pounding. Well, not pounding, but a consistent, it repeats over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and it's consistent. So um, I just think that it would be nice if some people would write in and tell us what they believe that the God voice is. You know, what do you think? You know,
Well, now the thing is that the reason I said universe and God, because everybody doesn't, people don't like to call God God. So they'll say universe or omnipresence or something like that. Or Allah, like we have all these names about these uh we believe beings, entities, if you will. And that was what I was thinking. So for me, um, how it is, it's a presence, it's a feeling of seeing. It's a sensation that you might recognize. It might be a tingling down your spine. For me, when I'm getting communicated, it could be all just in my head where I am telepathically getting that communication, or if it's spirit, I'll hear it in my ears and it'll be audio, or I'll get a vision. You know what I mean? Like they'll show me something. That's different senses that different entities touch, whether it's a deity, an ancestor, like communicating with me. It might be I have a yearning to eat something, like sweet potatoes or molasses or rice, or that's my ancestors,
Okay.
or even some bitter herbs.
Yeah. I
I'm
can
just
get that. I can understand that. Look, um, I like to use when I'm in conversation.
mhm.
I like to say the omnipresence or the
Okay.
presence, or sometimes I say the presence of God, you know,
Okay.
or the supernova.
Okay.
There is no right way and there is no wrong way. I learned that. I learned that by having conversations with God. I've learned
Hmm.
that by listening to things through divinity, um,
Okay.
talking to the universe and being spoken to by the divine. Meaning, I see flashes of light of different colors that flash, you know, as they're talking to me.
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes it would scares the shit out of me because I don't quite understand. I'm not saying that I'm afraid of spirit. I'm not afraid. You know me for years. I'm not afraid of any of that. But this is something that brings a joy, like a like a like when you see people jump up in church because they get the Holy Spirit or whatever they get.
Right.
Well, it's like that. It's like the adrenaline rush, and you don't know what to do, and you want to cry, you want to laugh, you want to scream at the same time. So I get like that,
Hmm.
and that to me is the divine. And I remember this very clearly because I asked the question one day, you know, why do I have to call God God? Okay,
Good question. Good
and
question.
I also asked, why do I have to call Jesus God? And basically, like I said, the divine showed itself to me and said, God is God, and Jesus is the Son of God, and so are
I
you.
get.
And whatever
I sh-
Jesus did, you can do.
you can do too. Yes. There you
And
go.
one of the things that I was told as well was Jesus did not come to this world to be worshipped. Neither
True.
did Buddha, neither did a lot of these people.
True.
They didn't come here to get worship. They
Correct.
they came here they came here to teach us how to love ourselves, but they came here to fulfill their destiny, which was to put a mark on this planet and here in our consciousness. But because
I,
political and religiously, people are fearful of what they don't understand, they have to destroy it. You know, there are
ding, ding,
there are a lot of people that speak to the divine directly. and they think it's their intuition because they're like, I just get this feeling and it's overwhelming and I get all these chills. And the divine is the only power that can make you feel all those things at one time. And the divine is exactly what the scripture says. We are spiritual beings and the spirit never dies. But they take it as if you believe in one way, then your spirit will live on. But that's not true because the spirit lives on whether you believe or not. The
Ashe.
spirit lives on and the spirit continues to keep being reborn and reborn and reborn. So who is to say that maybe the man called Jesus, he came here for his last incarnation? Because just like the spirit continues to go on like
Mhm.
stars, they also die.
Yep.
They also go to the abyss. There's the time frame, and it goes to the abyss.
That word die, that is so how do I put it? That word die, I can't quite grasp. For me, okay, let me put it another way. I
You
don't
see,
think
you see to exist.
uh, well, I don't see us, I don't think anything dies. I just think it takes a new form. Even stars, they say they die, they're light, but they don't, they become part of something else. You become in another form, just not the form that you're in. So for
Well,
me,
go ahead. I mean, I have something for that. Go ahead.
okay, that's why I have this thing about die. It just like, okay, reason I have that is because everybody, well, a lot of people don't know. My daughter transitioned in another position in 2015. And because I was spiritual, okay, I was told I should feel happy or glad. But at the time, it's still called a process of grieving. And I understand it. But the thing is, I, as a mother, wanted my child in this form, in this solid form where I could see her, be her, and touch her. Yeah, I can see her. Yeah, I can communicate with her still, but it's a different form. So selfishly, I'm going to say that I wanted her here with me, with me like now.
Mm-hmm.
So I cried and I started to really die, like really think die. And then it took on another form when I went to another country and started getting started doing working with the doing that thing I told you I had to do for 3 days at the ashram in Thailand. Um, we were talking about it. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. The no talk thing for
Yeah,
3 days.
being, being silent.
Yeah, there's a thing that you can go as a civilian and they take all your everything, and you do not talk. It could be 1 day, 2 days, or whatever that you sign up for. You eat, you work, um, and you have to get the way you get your food is people donate food to you. That's how they got that at this ashram. That's what they did. So that's when I came to see that she didn't die. She just transitioned. I knew she transitioned, but it was for a better cause. You, am I making sense? Like why I don't think die
Well,
for
I
me.
I remember when your daughter transitioned, and a lot of people judged you because you didn't mourn the normal way. Everybody expected you to break down. Remember that? Yeah, you cried, but you didn't cry right away. You cried a
No,
little tears, but you cried like it wasn't until you let go of everything and everyone, and you went to find the peace within that you said to me, because I never saw it. You said to me, I mourned my daughter. I cried. I really mourned her. And to me, I thought that was beautiful. I know there's always going to be sadness. That's never going to go away. But because that's what keeps us human. Having emotions is what keeps us human. Having emotions that we cannot control, it's what keeps us human. You know, um, although Buddhists will meditate to the point where they are emotionless, they can't really say that they're emotionless, because if you can look at the beauty of flowers and butterflies and appreciate all that stuff, that's an emotion.
correct.
Okay? So, the same way you have those emotions, if you are a monk, you're not going to want to have noise and music and racket. And you're not going to want to do that. That's emotion too.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, I look at it as the difference between God and the universe, or what we consider, is that the universe opens up doors that allows us to walk through within our minds, these doors that we can walk in the room to within our minds to different rooms. And the reason and God's purpose is, I created you, so I'm letting you go, but understand you have the universe that can help you to heal yourself, but you have to tap in. I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to take you there. I'm going to give messages to you, and it is up to you to move forward. I mean, at least that's the way I see it. When I was a practicing Buddhist, I remember that the Buddhists do talk about God. Buddhists do mention God, and Buddhists talk about the universe, and to live in gratitude. And what I have learned as a human being is that the more I'm grateful, the more I receive. The more I'm grateful, the more I receive, not in money, but in peace. Because ultimately, if you are at peace within yourself, what else do you need? Everything else follows. I must say this to you, because we've been friends for a very long time. People don't even know that we've been friends for like what, 30 years, maybe.
30 years.
People don't even know that we've been friends that long. You know, and the one thing that people will never grasp is that you and I have been on the same journey in different occasions. On different occasions in this lifetime, we've been on the same journeys, and I'm still learning. And no matter what was going on in my life, these past few months have been very rough. I'm not gonna hide shit, because I made it very clear when I started to do coffee with Ori, that I was bipolar. I never hid that from anyone. But I haven't been on medication in 2 months. and I feel wonderful. The only thing that I was troubled with was the fact that I have to move, and it's not because I'm being kicked out, but I have to move. And remember, I was having a hard time with that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I must let you know is that, one, that I appreciate you and that you are appreciated, and two, that you made me understand again what I had forgotten many years ago, which is there is a process, and I have to trust the process, regardless of what I feel. If I feel like I'm gonna just end up with nothing, I have to understand that I came into this planet with nothing. So in reality, what do I really lose? Nothing.
Ding, 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 ding. You got it.
That's one. And
You
two,
got it.
and
You
two,
got
that I'm only breakable if I allow my mind to break. But if I'm focused and I believe in what I truly believe in, I can't just talk the talk. I have to walk the walk.
Thank
And
you.
I have to understand that the universe's plan and God's plan,
Mm-hmm.
they're two different plans, but at the same time, they coexist within each other. Okay?
You got it.
So that simple, those two simple words that you gave me has inspired me to be stronger and to understand that I am an emotional person because I am a child of the moon, because cancers are, and I'm ruled by the moon. And I'm an emotional person, but I stopped being emotional. Remember that when you met me, I was an emotional person that was well grounded because I was a Buddhist. But then, as time went on, getting beat on and getting beat on and getting beat on with different practices, I became bitter and I became angry. And I was angry for a very long time. But then I got sick. Being sick was the cause of being angry.
Say it again because there's some people that didn't hear it.
That being sick, becoming bipolar was not caused by actions that happened to me as a child, although they were very tragic. It happened to me because I was so angry and so upset, and I was bitching and complaining and blaming everybody else for my own shit, which is what a lot of us do. We blame everybody else. We don't blame ourselves. We don't take responsibility for what we do. And I was so angry at everyone. And I was so angry at not having, that I realized that I forgot to understand that if I had nothing, it's because I gave everything away. Because there were many, many times that I've had many things, much more than people can have, and I've given it away. And what I've understood is that sometimes you have to have, you can have this, but then sometimes someone will come along and you pass it on to them because you have no need for it anymore. You don't know why, you just gift it because something tells you, just give it to them. And I do
Remove.
that all the time. I do that all the time. I buy stuff that I like, and then a couple of months later, I just give everything away and I end up with nothing. And then the universe brings, gives me more. It doubles it. And I don't do it so that the universe can do it. I just do it because it's something in my heart, in my spirit that says, you don't need this. You don't
Okay.
need this anymore. You're not using it. Give it to somebody else. And I don't look at it as a as a as I'm giving it away. I'm looking at it as the universe wants me to give it away because it's true. I'm not using it. And somebody else can use it. So what is not a blessing to me can be a blessing to someone else at that moment.
Right.
So I live in gratitude each and every day. I try to maintain myself living in gratitude, and I try to maintain myself living focused on what is what is special. And what
Okay.
is special? Everything.
There you go.
Good,
And can I add to that?
bad, and indifferent. All of it is beautiful
Okay.
because everything that we see and we go through, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, transforms us. So, what is more beautiful than that? The transformation.
Right. Your lesson can be a blessing. What I was gonna say is sometimes when we're giving stuff away, we're making room for something bigger and better. So
Ashe.
in India, some cultures believe if somebody comes to their home and they like something, they'll automatically give it to them so they don't envy it or covet it, or so you will not yearn for something that you like. And I'll give you something. What was it? Chris Rock, not Chris Rock. Oh gosh, the guy Chris Tucker. I love him. And Michael Jackson. He went to Michael Jackson's house and he liked something, and he said, Michael Jackson said, "Here, you can have it." So when he said, "Really, Michael, I can have it," he's like, "Yeah, you can have it." So then he went out there to the BMW. He's like, "Michael," he's like, "You can't have that, Chris. You can't have that, Chris." So, but also that was done. Prince did the same thing. Somebody liked something and he gave it to him. And it made me think about these different beings, how the universe communicates with them. And even Prince or Michael, one of them said it, if I'm inspired to do something, if I don't do it, somebody else will. So just like the universe communicates with me, the universe communicates with someone else and gives them the same inspiration, the same idea. But if you're brave enough to go and do what the universe has given you information to do, and I mean, it's got to be brave because sometimes it's off the chain, sometimes it's unbelievable that you're like, okay, I give an example. I've been doing color therapy with music, what I call vibration color therapy, and also geometric shapes. I don't know why. I was just given that. And then a friend of mine told me that someone else had created a room, a blue room. And they did it in 2017. And I said, look how long I've been doing this. And someone else is doing it, so it helped me understand, yes, if you don't do what spirit asks you to do, and you might be doing it, but somebody else does the same thing and it blows up, because they have more, maybe more influence. You don't be discouraged, because what you do is you do, and it'll be unique in your own way and have your own signature. And that is just how the universe works. Somebody's always going to do something that looks like it mimics what you're doing, but it's not going to be exactly like yours. So the universe does communicate in that way of giving ideas for you to get what you need to do and help you. Sometimes the universe will tell you, you know what, you need to sit still for a minute. And you'd be like, why? Because we want you to breathe. Have you looked around the beauty and understand like what's going on? Because you're so busy going, you're just going, and we're beings, but we're not supposed to be working like that. That is not what, and and this is non-judgment. This is, you're supposed to feel. You okay, I can't tell you what you're supposed to do. It would be lovely for you to feel, it would be lovely for you to come in contact with deeper with yourself, and I mean really go deep within, um of being an understanding. And when you're communicating, even your shadow self is communication with God and the universe. Everything is not always going to be roses, everything is not always going to be easy. When you go through an awakening, as you talked about your show, it's not always pretty. It's not rainbows,
Oh
unicorns, and
no,
fairies and everything.
it's
There's an
not pretty
adjustment.
at all. It is not pretty at all. Some people can have a breakdown. Some people can scream and scream and scream and scream. Some people can cry and cry and cry and cry. Or, even sexual. People can become very sexually frustrated,
Hmm.
that they start to sleep with so many different people because they feel lonely. So it can make you feel anyway
Right,
until you come to terms with the fact that you're making a transition, that you are becoming something different. It's like a
transformation.
worm becoming a butterfly. You're becoming the butterfly, but you're feeling like a worm. And
Oh,
unless you're able to make a change by accepting that there is a process, nothing is going to
I'm
move
here.
forward. No, see,
Okay.
nothing is going to move forward. So it's something that you said about about this whole thing with Michael Jackson. For years, and you know this because you know this to be true. And I tell you this because when you didn't know better and nobody else knew better, you were telling me, stop giving, stop being so nice, stop giving so much. But since you've known me, have I not always been a giver? I
You've
give
always
away
been here.
everything. I give away everything. People come to my house. Look, I had a mass 2 days ago, and I just gifted a lot of stuff. And this woman was like, "Oh my God, I appreciate all of this." And they're like, "You sure you don't?" And I was like, "No, no, no. I don't need clutter. My house is very empty." And for people who don't know what my living room looks like, as you can see, I am a minimalist. My house has I have candles lit, I have a picture on the wall, TV, but the only TV is in this house. And that's a love seat. That's not even a couch. That's a love seat. I don't need so much grandeur. Would I like a lot of grandeur? Who would not? But I can live in a tiny house and be okay. I don't need all of that. As long as I have a home base and I'm able to travel, then I'm good.
Right. And
There will
that's
be my spot to sleep.
see, and that's what I like because the universe teaches you not to have attachments.
There's no
And
attachments.
no, no, no. That's why I said the universe teaches you not to have
Yeah,
attachments because we can become materialists because we do have attachments to things, places, and we sometimes stop our blessing because we're so stubborn because we are attached to something or attached to an event or attached to an outcome. You know what I mean? And the
or
universe is
attached to a
showing
person.
right. And you're like, okay, well, that person was only for you to learn this lesson. It was just for that. And that's relationship wise. The universe will say, look, and I'll tap you on the shoulder. Look, I done told you this person is such and such. I've shown you. And I have conversations like I said, where it'd be like, okay, well, we done showed you this person and why they are like they are. And you still want them to be in your life. Why? um my thing was I would justify it, and then spirit like stop justifying them. If someone wants to be in your life, just like you make an effort, they need to make an effort. If they don't make an effort, why do you want to keep them in your life?
Yeah,
And I was like, what? And you got to realize people deserve to be in your presence? That's how, and I had to think about, like, what do you mean deserve? Your presence isn't a gift, it's a present. Your presence is a present, it's a gift. For someone to sit and talk and be in your auric field and talk with you and get knowledge and understanding, that is a present for them. Just like their presence should be a present for you, not you giving, not you always gotta, feel on guard. That's not a present. That is something that is for me. That is not something I want. That's not something I need. And when you understand that, like, just listen, because spirit, like, and they will little subtle signs. If you see something or hear something, and it's like you thinking, oh, no, 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 that can't possibly be. Take deep breaths. Do at least 3 times. Take deep breaths, let it out, and another one, and like, okay, and just say, is it to be or not to be? Is it for me or is it not for me? As you guys know, I give an example. Mexico. I was told when I went to before I went to Mexico, I was supposed to travel around, and I got this discombobulated, and I got one lesson, then another lesson, and luckily, the universe put some people in my corner to rectify that the mistakes that I made. And that's another thing. Universe will always bring you back to where you're supposed to be. Even if you think you're off the path, it would always bring you back. It is just another way. It's just a longer way of getting to your goal.
Yeah, but the question is, are you really off the path? Or is that the direction that you're supposed to go to make you understand that you didn't have to go through all of that?
Yeah, a lesson. Like
You
I
know,
said, a
it's a
lesson for
lesson.
your blessing. Yeah.
I was finding
A meditation.
I was finding a meditation,
Okay. You got
which
it?
is to heal, is for the healing of the body and the mind, and it's at 432 megahertz.
All right. Do,
So
do, do.
it's to raise the people's vibrations. Our vibrations are already there, says.
Right. And
But
it also clears out a lot of clutter in different parts. That frequency is going to clear out different clutter, but also different emotions and also different release in the body. So when you have that, especially if you can listen with earphones on, which are very
Mhm.
important because you're able to really focus and actually see and close your eyes. There's these colored glasses that you
Mhm.
can get that I use for color therapy, along with other color things that I have for color therapy. Um, you can get some colored glasses, different colored glasses for different things, and the frequency will match. Match.
But you know what's also good is to burn incense if you're not allergic to it, right?
Hmm.
And get a speaker, but put your phone on airplane mode so that nobody can call you, at least for 20 minutes.
Hmm.
And then listen, let the music vibrate through your whole house. Because the house, what people don't understand is that everything that's in a house, like the structure of the house and everything, everything has a life.
Yeah, vibration frequency, correct.
Exactly. And when people say the house is settling, the house is not settling. The house is breathing. The house is becoming comfortable with your energy,
Hmm.
because that's what it is. Because if this table is wood, but just because this table is wood, you cannot tell me this table is not a tree. This table was a tree. This table
Right,
was still a tree. It just took a different form.
right.
But it's still a tree. What does that
And it
have
has
in your
a
hand?
vibration.
What's that
Well,
you
I
have
was
in your
going
hand?
to show them this. This is I'm not, can you see it?
Yeah, but what is it? Wait, what's the name? It's Guru
It's
what?
a diffuser.
A
It's a
diffuser.
diffuser.
Okay.
Okay, and you can get one of these and put essential oils because you were talking about incense. And if
Mm-hmm.
they can't get incense, they can make their own personal incense through the house of boiling maybe some apple peels, some water, some cinnamon sticks, or
I
cloves or lemon
I always
peels.
say that
So,
to boil apples and cinnamon and put nutmeg and put clove and ginger and just put it on simmer. Don't put it high so it can
mhm,
boil. You don't want it to boil. You want it to simmer because when it
correct.
simmers, it goes throughout your whole house, and that's a beautiful scent.
Right. Do you
You
know
know.
that most realtors, when they're trying to sell a house, that they will bake an apple pie or have an apple pie and bake it, and that is what, it makes you feel. Apple pie in America is homey. So, and you got to find out what is homey in another country and do that. And if you know that's just a realtor's trick, make you feel. But from a era aromatic therapist point of view, is things that we use when I'm doing spiritual counseling. There's essential oils or a candle. Certain backgrounds help you come into your emotions so you can feel that you're comfortable, that you can let down. So if you need to let down, and then once you let down, after we do the grounding or whatever we do during the session, I'll have something to revitalize, revigorate you. So when you go out, you're not down, but you're up. And that is about doing the work, because some people don't want to do the work and some people do, but it's so their shoulders, it's so heavy. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think that there are people that don't want to do the work. I think that what happens is people don't trust the process because they give up too fast. That's what it is. If you really
or
think about it,
or
or
some
they don't
people
have
are comfortable
don't
doing
have
keep doing the
motivation,
same. I'm sorry. Some people are just comfortable doing the same thing.
and
And
some people are torn between meditation and religion.
yeah, that one.
Okay, and they don't. They're like, oh well, if I meditate, maybe that's not of God. Well, as I remember and as I recall reading scripture and reading the Bhagavad Gita and reading the Quran, and the Bible says Salah. Salah means meditate.
Yes, Salah,
You
Salah. Yep.
know, in the Quran, it tells you to meditate. The Bhagavad Gita tells you any chance that you get to become still, you become still and you become one with your surroundings.
Correct.
So if you're in the park and you're sitting there and you're reading a book, okay, you read. By focusing on the book and not focusing on anything that's going on around you, you've become one with everything that's there. The park, the trees, the birds, anything that's there. Uh, how much time do we have?
Well, I was gonna say, let's do the meditation.
Okay. Well, this meditation, which I'm gonna remember, guys. This is part
You have
one of part
you have
two.
18 minutes.
Okay, this is part one
Mm-hmm.
of this section. So Monday we will revisit this subject again, and I'll have a different meditation. But this meditation I will be sending to all of you that are not here, and it is meditation healing, deep healing music for body and soul, DNA repair relaxation. Is a DNA relaxation, and it's at 432
Megahertz.
megahertz. Okay,
And
so
this show will also be re-aired again on Friday.
uh, take a deep breath, everyone. Close your eyes. Count to 10 and release. Take a deep breath. Stretch out. Stretch yourself. It's always good to move and stretch. Stretch up high. Stretch your arms, your neck. Because switching vibration is like switching pedals on a bike. You know? So you have to make sure that you stretch because your body is absorbing a different vibration and a higher energy. So I'm going to stop this and I'm going to send this to everyone. This is actually 6 hours long.
Mm-hmm. Usually they are.
This meditation is, no, this one is 6 hours long. So I'm going to send it to you and I'm going to send it to all the followers that we have and the people that will, you know, and whoever wants it, it is, hold on. Okay, it is deep healing meditation healing. So I'm going to send it to a couple of people. The one that we're gonna use the next time is to raise positive vibrations.
Excuse me.
Bless you, honey.
Thank you.
To raise positive vibration, to manifest miracles. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yes, I don't know how many minutes we got, but you can while I send it to people. Well, yeah, you can do that. I'm going to start sending this out to people.
Let's see. Come on. Come on. One thing about this one is kind of slow. There we go. Let's do it. Coffee with Ori. Food Alchemy presents Dr. D Time. Channel worth watching. Food Alchemy Network. Metaphysical Vortex Channel. Interactive metaphysical information map for body, mind, and soul. So yeah, I get to hear what I do live. So here we go. Coffee with Ori. Via Intuitive Life Coach Ori. Book a reading today. That's what you want to do. Book a reading today with Coffee Ori, spiritual intuitive life coach, author of 2468 books and then plus. Videos by Zoom, Skype, or any televideo. Where are you in your life? Ask Ori for that one-on-one session. Dr. D, metaphysician. Reiki, prana, biofeedback, ionic detox, alignment with self, personal esteem, Muna Aiki, color therapy, Reiki, quantum physics, color, vibration doula, spiritual counseling, and CEO of Food Alchemy Network. I am Dr. D, so now you get to see me. Haven't been on for a minute. So, ladies and gentlemen, I advise you to really take today's session on in your communication with the universe and seeing and listening and taking the lessons that you learn here and pass them on. Please share this information because it is always life changing if you want it to be. It won't be life changing if you don't want it to be. It can be inspiring. The information is given is to educate and stimulate the mind, body, and soul as always. If you have any questions, any that you might need answers to, please feel free to make the comments at the bottom of the box. I respond to everyone equally and positively with the information that I can give. So, again, if you would like to book a reading, contact Ori. We are usually here on Monday, and today just happened to be a special day. This is part one. Monday stay for part two, and recognizing the different signs of the universe and how they communicate with you. Don't you want to know the answers to that? How the universe gives you signs, how they communicate with you, because they come in many forms. You really want to know that answer. So, if I was you, I stick tuned. And of course, we're also going to have a meditation. You're going to need this. It's going to take you to the next level. Yes. Are you excited as I am? Yes, yes, yes. So, I'm going to let my host with the mostest say what he got to say. All right, hostess
Well,
with this.
I am. I want to. I want to give you some advice. Love yourself before you love anyone else. Love yourself first, and use these meditations to help you so that you can grow. Let go of attachments that are only bringing you down. Because if you strive for better and you know that you can achieve it, and yet you're still in the same spot, then maybe you need to start looking at what is surrounding you and decide to love yourself first. And loving yourself is not easy because sometimes loving yourself first pushes people out. But that is the universe that does that. And that is the universe that gives you the strength to do that. So just be kind to yourself and love yourself because that is important. Thank you. Love and light to all, like I always say.
Love, light, and longevity is the key for me.